Good evening, everybody. This is Mr. Wanjala, and I would like to just say something. Yesterday, you all did speak very well. I want to give a speech. I want to say something briefly on one of the topics that we had yesterday so that we use that sample to try and speak today, trying to mirror what I will say or even to speak better. Now, I've chosen the topic, why is trust decreasing in society? And that is one of the topics that was not spoken to. So this is how I would speak and how I would start my topic. To introduce, I would say, good evening, everyone. Today, I would like to speak about a topic that affects us all, and it affects us every single day. The topic is, why is trust decreasing in society? Honestly, I believe trust is one of the most important foundations of every healthy society. And without trust, relationships become weak, communities become divided, and people begin to lose their interest in a lot of things. People live in fear, suspicion, and selfishness. Actually, trust affects almost every area of our lives. It affects friendships, families, school, leadership and business, and even religion. So when trust is strong, society becomes peaceful and cooperative. However, when trust disappears, people stop believing in one another and many problems begin to grow. So today I would like us to think deeply about why trust is decreasing and what we can do to rebuild it. First of all, one major reason why trust is decreasing is dishonesty. Personally speaking, I think many people today struggle to be truthful and transparent. In fact, people often promise things they never intend to do. Some lie to gain money, some they lie to get power, popularity, and personal advantage. For example, a student may cheat in exams to get good grades, a business person may deceive customers to make more profit, or a leader may make promises during elections and later fail to keep them. Over time, people become disappointed and stop trusting others. And the truth is that trust takes a long time to build, but only a few seconds to destroy. Moreover, social media has also contributed to the decline in trust in society. Surprisingly, many people now live behind screens and create fake lifestyles online. Some spread false information, edited realities, or harmful gossip. And because of this, it becomes difficult to know what is real and what is fake. For instance, something you find like a false story will spread across the social media quite fast, and many people believe it without even checking the facts. And this creates confusion, anger, and division. However, I'm not saying social media is completely bad. On the other hand, social media can be educative, can connect people and create awareness when used responsibly. Another reason why trust is decreasing is lack of accountability. In many societies today, people are not held responsible for their actions. And some leaders misuse public resources, some employees avoid responsibility, and some individuals hurt others without apologizing, and they just get away with it. From my point of view, accountability is extremely important because trust grows when people do what they say they will do. For example, if a teacher comes to class prepared every day, students begin to trust that teacher. If a friend supports you during your difficult times, you naturally trust that person more. And actually, consistency builds trust. Furthermore, modern life has become very stressful and competitive. And people are under pressure financially, emotionally, and even socially. And because of this pressure, some individuals become selfish and focus only on themselves. They don't think about community values. For instance, some workers will compete unfairly against colleagues, and some friends will betray each other just for opportunities, and even family members sometimes struggle to support one another. And as far as I'm concerned, society is slowly losing important values such as honesty, empathy, patience, loyalty, and responsibility. And without these values, trust cannot survive. My personal reflection is that trust begins with small daily actions. It begins when we speak honestly, when we respect others, when we keep promises, when we admit our mistakes, and when we trust people fairly. In fact, trust is not built only through big speeches or public appearances. It is built quietly through character and consistency. I remember a teacher once told me that people may forget your words, but they will never forget whether they could trust you or not. Honestly, that statement stayed in my mind for a long time. And because when someone trusts you, they feel safe around you. They believe your words and they believe your intentions and your actions. My proposal is that we can build trust in our society by number one, families and schools teaching values from an early age. Children should be taught honesty, discipline, empathy, responsibility, and respect. Secondly, leaders must lead by example. People trust leaders who are transparent, accountable, and consistent. However, when leaders become corrupt and irresponsible, society loses confidence very quickly. Thirdly, young people must use social media wisely. Instead of spreading negativity, they should use technology to educate, inspire, encourage, and unite people. And finally, every individual must take personal responsibility. The truth is that society changes when individuals change. To conclude, trust in society is declining due to dishonesty, lack of accountability, misuse of social media, selfishness, and loss of important values. However, I believe trust can still be rebuilt if people choose integrity, empathy, honesty, and responsibility. Actually, a better future does not depend on technology or education. It also depends on whether people can trust one another again. Therefore, let us all become the kind of people who keep promises, speak truthfully, respect others, and positively influence society. Because in the end, trust is the glue that holds communities together. Thank you very much for listening. Mr. Wanjala.